Even the cat is more on beat than you, eh? There's a reason why you cannot improve your counting even using a metronome. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about tips to improve your counting, effective ways to use a metronome according to my experiences as a conductor and instrument teacher. Doesn't matter if you sing or if you play music on an electronic device or on an actual instrument, you always have to count the beat, or in our fancy musical term, the rhythm. This is a super important skill for your musicality, whether you want to make music with other people or just practicing on your own. It doesn't matter what instrument you play, what clef do you read, rhythm is the only standardized measure to be used around the musical world. In this video, I'm trying to address the basics and the skills that you will need to count better, also how to make good use of your metronome. The first thing to help you count better is to understand note value. Like I mentioned earlier, doesn't matter if your instrument is pitched or unpitched, what kind of range you are, we all use the same system when we're referring to rhythm. Note value tells you how many beats you need to count for that particular note. A more general example will be bake a cake. How can you follow the recipe if you don't even know the difference between self-rise flour and plain flour? You can't really just go into the kitchen, put in some sugar, some spice, and everything nice, and hope these ingredients will make you a perfect little cake. And we all know it doesn't. Make sure you understand the common note values such as semi-brief, minim, crotchet, quaver, and semi-quavers. You should be able to answer questions like, how many quavers equals to one crotchet? If 2 crotchets equal to 1 minim, how many quavers is in 1 minim? Don't forget to memorize the rest version of them too. Of course, even though they are rest, if they're written on the score, you will need to count them. Yes, I know what you're thinking. It is true that there's a lot more complicated rhythmic markings, such as like tie notes, dotted rhythm, but they are not that hard once you get the basics right. Just a random fact for you. I really hate how note values are translated into Chinese because it involves calculating divisions of fraction, which is way too complicated, and not all Chinese kids are good at maths, okay? If I made it to become a conductor, even learning counting as a violist, there's literally no excuse for you. Literally. After you have confidence on identifying note values, congratulations! Now you can go practice by narrowing down your practice area. Here, I don't mean narrowing down your physical location, okay? Hear me out. In order to count your music properly, there are 2 steps. First, to get the rhythmic pattern right. Second, to get the rhythm up to the desired speed. If you have been watching 2-Step Violin's channel, you should be able to finish the following sentence, okay? If you can play it slow... Nope, not fast enough. Nope. Better go practice after watching this video, okay? When I say narrow down your practice area, I am referring to the elephant technique. Let's say if you have to eat an elephant, what would you do? You would take a bite at a time, right? Same applies to you when you practice your music. If you have a piece in front of you, how would you practice your counting? A few bars at a time. This elephant technique is actually a very popular skill for productivity and time management. So you want to practice your counting. You want to assign an area to focus, each at a time. Let's say you have 16 bars of difficult rhythmic pattern that you need to practice. You can narrow it down into 2 or even just 1 bar. Try it out and see if you make mistakes. If you do make mistakes, go back and make it right. If you don't, just play a few more times to make sure it's not just luck. So when you're happy with your playing, you can go up in speed. This is when the famous quote, practice makes perfect, fits. It's not the fact you practice, then you will become perfect eventually. It's the fact that you keep repeating what you have done well, that will make you perfect. Since you gave thoughts into the music by studying in details, your playing will become closer to perfect. After you have tackled those 2 bars, you proceed to another 2 bars. And after you're done with that, you go further down the line. So most of the music are written in 4 or 8 bar phrases, so the music should sound like a sentence after every 4 bars or 8 bars. So you can try play it and review your sentence after each sentence. Keep repeating to eat this elephant a bite at a time. You'll finish your music before you realize. Now, we talk about how to use the metronome properly. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there's a reason why you cannot improve your counting even using a metronome. Here, I want you to bear in mind, metronome is a tool, not a solution. Your counting does not automatically get better because you use it. You have to use it right. That's why you should have somewhat clear concept what note value is and know what to practice by narrowing down your practice area. Now you can use your metronome to help you. So which metronome should you use? Like the classical one, the electronic ones, or the mobile apps? From my experience, my answer is it doesn't matter. They all do the same, the only difference is how fast they can beat. The classic ones can go up to 200 beats per minute. The electronic ones can go up to 250 BPM. And the mobile apps can go up to 400 BPM. The reason why you want a metronome that is capable of counting fast is because the metronome should be helping you to count the subdivision instead of you counting by yourself. Let me explain this by going through an example. Let's say you want to practice okay, this finale by Mozart. Since I am still technically a conductor, I can say I am pretty confident on identifying note values. It doesn't mean you will make no mistakes, it's just I will notice it right away if I play the note value incorrectly. So now I want to narrow down my practice area. Say the first 4 lines up till the 7 bar rest. First thing you want to do is find out the shortest note, which in this Mozart, pretty obvious, is a quaver. Now take out your metronome and let's set it up. In this video, I'm using this MA2. It's not because it has an EV on it, just because it has the most standard interface. Switch it on, you should see a few numbers. The first number at the top left refers to the time signature. Usually it's 4, which sounds like. The first beat sounds different than the other 3. We want to get rid of that because that is pretty distracting and you can count to 4 on your own. So let's put it all the way down to 1, so every beat sounds the same. I don't think my old lost electronic metronome can do this, but this EV chord can go down to 0, which is basically the same as 1. It's just the click sound more loud, so this is your preference. Then you go to the time value by pressing the select button. Even though we want to practice quaver notes, we don't want to change it into quaver note. It will be distracting. Okay, listen. So it's the beat bong bing bong bing bong bing or bing bong bing bong bing bong. I can say both, so let's get rid of all these crotchets and move it back to the crotchet. The speed value in the middle should be the only number you want to change when you practice. So now we look back to the Mozart. Let's put the metronome to 140 and try it out first. Should be counting the subdivision for you. And by practicing to the subdivision, your inner pulse should be improved over time. Yes, it's obviously a lot slower than it should be, but this metronome should help you to make sure you give enough and correct note value into each note. Since this piece is in 2 and allegro molto means pretty fast, and I don't think I can play pretty fast in one go, but let's just speed up the metronome. Let's say have the metronome set up to 250 for now. Be reminded that this will still be my quavers, so let me play through. It's not too bad. Okay, hope I don't fail. I'm terrified, but Mozart, so the key signature is not too crazy. Maybe if I play a Mahler, which might involve 7 flats, then I might need to take a few more times to get the notes right. So what I'm trying to say is the metronome should count the subdivision for you until you get all the note values of the section you selected is correct. Once you make sure your note values and also the tuning is correct, you can try to play it faster. This is when you put the speed back to normal, because if it clicks too fast, your ear can't handle it. So 250 divided by 2 is 175. If you can't do this, you can do it by a calculator.
And not all Chinese kids are good at maths.
It's 175. There we go. 175. Because 2 quavers equals to 1 crotchet. This will be the exactly same speed as just now, but the metronome is now counting in crotchet instead. So let's quickly run it through. If you're happy with the result, you can go faster. I'd say be bold and add like at least 30, even 50 beats per minute. Yes, there won't be much difference between 175 and 180 beats per minute. If you added too much beats when you play through, you just put it back down. It's not that hard. Now I am at 220. Let's see how fast this is. Someone is vacuuming outside my room, by the way. Okay, let's have a go. To be honest, as a conductor, I would prefer this to be faster, like 250, like bum 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 bum, taka 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 taka. Like I would prefer in this kind of speed, but I don't think I can play it in like a sight reading. Okay, and also don't forget you still have a whole piece to go through, so don't get too excited in one particular area. Once you're happy, you need to move on. Also, it makes me an excuse to end this video, right? Of course, you can practice a lot more musical technique and rhythmic patterns by using the metronome, but for most individual practice, I think this is how metronome should be used to improve your counting. The mobile app I showed you guys earlier in the video is called Tempo. The paid version enables to beat 800 beats per minute, so if you need that, it's pretty affordable. I've been using this app since my music degree. I will put the link in the description box below. If you're a student or if your place doesn't allow you to use your mobile phone, go for an electronic metronome. I believe most electronic metronome has a tuner function too. It's just, is it an input version or an output version? Like I can explain that in another video if you want me to. And just pop this into your instrument case and bring it along the way. Like I can do this like a makeup guru, right? Just to make this clear, this is not sponsored. I did not earn anything from these metronome companies, but you know what to do if you are one, yeah? I simply hope this video helps you in some sort of way. If you have other ideas or thoughts in mind, make sure you share it in the comment section so I can learn from you guys and improve faster so we can learn together, okay? If you enjoy videos like this, please do support me by clicking the subscribe button and the like button. Or you can click the dislike if you didn't manage to finish the 2-side violin quote in time. It's not my fault that you're not fast enough. As I want to become the best conductor in video game music, I also play games and stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday in Hong Kong time. We do talk about pretty much anything, so if you have time and you're interested, please pop in and say hi. Otherwise, your CLS will be my best support. And as usual, good luck and have fun.
原來就下一則新聞，第一次佢有2則新聞嘅，唔係冇新聞啊！哦 ，David 要走啦！哦 sayonara.